Jake Paul's former trainer has just thrown him under the bus, and when someone who's been with you for over 4 years starts spilling the tea, you know it's serious. Now, you've got to wonder, why would such a trusted guy go rogue and expose all these juicy details? And this guy didn't just drop hints, he leaked everything with receipts, leaving Jake scrambling to cover it all up. Jake's been trying to keep this under wraps, probably throwing money at anyone who even whispers about it. But guess what? We've got the scoop, and I'm not about to hold back. You might be floored by this news, but honestly, I'm not. I've been hearing whispers about the conflicts and clashes in Jake's camp for ages, and I knew it was only a matter of time before it all came out so bluntly. Jake Paul's camp is a hot mess of unseen chaos, packed with controversy and tension. Known for his confrontational personality, Jake has built a reputation for being notoriously difficult to work with. His aggressive behavior and impulsive actions have turned the place into a pressure cooker for everyone around him. Inside his camp, things are far from peaceful. Trainers, sparring partners, dietitians, they're all walking on eggshells, dealing with Jake's demanding and often erratic nature. The relationships are strained, with many struggling to maintain professionalism while handling Jake's unpredictable tantrums. Insiders say that Jake's aggressive approach isn't just for the cameras, it's a real part of his personality that deeply affects his team. One infamous incident really highlights this mess. During a press conference with Tyson, Jake fired an employee right on the spot. Why? The poor guy made a harmless comment saying he hoped Tyson would win. Jake's reaction was instant and brutal, firing the guy like he was swatting a fly. This wasn't just a small hiccup. It was a glaring sign of the underlying chaos in Jake's camp. And now, with his former trainer spilling the beans, things have only gotten worse. This ex-trainer has come forward with shocking secrets, painting a pretty ugly picture of what goes on behind the scenes. While the exact reasons for the trainer's outburst are still a bit murky, rumors are flying about financial disputes and professional disagreements. The juicy details aren't all out yet, but the hints we've got are enough to set the boxing world on fire. The trainer's decision to speak out shows that things in Jake's camp are far from stable. Now everyone's wondering about the real story behind Jake Paul's rise in boxing and what other skeletons might be hiding in his closet. The fallout that led to his trainer's epic meltdown is a tangled mess of financial disputes, professional clashes, personal vendettas, and maybe even a dash of a publicity stunt. Each thread of this drama reveals a deeper layer of tension that ultimately tore apart the relationship between Jake Paul and his former trainer, BJ Flores. First up, the money. Apparently, financial disagreements were at the heart of the meltdown. Training a high-profile athlete like Jake Paul involves a lot of money. Sources suggest Flores felt seriously shortchanged for his efforts, thinking he deserved a bigger slice of the financial pie. This kind of money squabble isn't rare in professional sports, where the stakes and the revenues are sky-high. Flores, who put in significant time and effort to transform Jake from a YouTube star to a legit boxing contender, probably felt his paycheck didn't match his contribution. Jake's aggressive training approach and rapid rise in the boxing world likely caused friction. Flores, with his vast experience, might have had a different vision for Jake's development. Then there's the personal vendetta angle. The high-pressure world of professional sports is ripe for personal conflicts. Flores and Jake's relationship might have gone sour beyond professional disagreements. Jake's reputation for being difficult and confrontational could have spilled over into their personal interactions, leading to a toxic environment. Remember that infamous press conference where Jake fired an employee on the spot? That's a glaring sign of the strained personal dynamics in the camp. Incidents like that could have fueled Flores' decision to blow the whistle, driven by a sense of personal grievance and a desire to set the record straight. Lastly, the quest for publicity. In pro boxing, media attention and public perception are gold. Flores, stepping away from his role, might have seen a chance to grab the spotlight and boost his profile. Dropping explosive details about Jake Paul, who's always in the media's eye, would naturally attract a lot of attention. Flores, who'd mostly stayed out of the limelight, might have decided that revealing the behind-the-scenes chaos could serve multiple purposes. It would justify his departure and position him as a whistleblower standing up against Jake's antics. While possibly driven by real grievances, this move also puts Flores in the public eye, attracting attention from the media and future clients. If I tell you the main drama was kicked off by Jake Paul versus Mike Perry, well, that fight had everyone buzzing. The bout, which went down on July 20th, 2024, ended in a TKO in the 6th round. For those who tuned in, it was a wild ride of punches, dodges, and Jake's trademark bravado. It started off with both fighters feeling each other out, but by the 4th round, things got heated. Jake landed some heavy hits, and by the 6th round, the ref called it TKO. Jake Paul's history with TKOs is quite the rabbit hole. Let's take a stroll down memory lane. Remember his fight with Ben Askren on April 17, 2021? That ended in a TKO in the 1st round. Jake landed a heavy right, and the ref stopped the fight, saying Askren was unfit to continue. In this fight, critics pointed out that Askren looked more out of shape than usual, sparking speculation that the fight was more about entertainment than competition. The idea that Jake, a YouTuber-turned-boxer, could take down a seasoned MMA fighter so quickly had many questioning the bout's legitimacy. Some even suggested Askren took a dive for the payday. Then there was the fight with Tyron Woodley on December 18, 2021. Jake won by TKO in the 6th round after landing a series of punches that led the ref to step in. Many fans felt the ref stopped the fight too soon, giving Jake an easy out. Social media exploded with accusations that the fight was rigged or that Woodley was paid off. Even boxing analysts like Max Kellerman questioned the referee's decision, suggesting Woodley could have continued. This isn't the first time such suspicions have clouded Jake's victories. And who could forget the bout with Nate Robinson on November 28, 2020? That fight ended in a TKO in the 2nd round after Jake knocked Nate down multiple times. Each of these fights has its share of raised eyebrows and whispers about the legitimacy of the stoppages. Nate, a former NBA player with zero professional boxing experience, was knocked down multiple times before the fight was stopped. While some praised Jake for his knockout power, others slammed the matchup, calling it a mismatch designed to make Jake look good. The ease with which Jake won fueled the narrative that his fights are more spectacle than sport. Now let's get into the controversy around Jake's TKO victories. Fans and experts are noticing a pattern. Why do Jake's fights often end in TKOs rather than clean knockouts? Is it just a coincidence, or is there something more? Some boxing aficionados argue that Jake's TKO wins are because of his strategic fighting style, wearing down opponents until they can't defend themselves. Others are more skeptical. The pattern of TKOs in Jake's career raises a lot of questions. Is it just good luck, or is there a strategy at play? Are the refs being too cautious, or is there something shady happening behind the scenes? The frequent TKOs have made some fans skeptical of Jake's actual boxing skills, suggesting he relies more on his fame and the spectacle of his fights to overshadow any lack of technical prowess. Jake's response to the controversy has been predictably brash. He dismisses the criticisms as jealousy, arguing his opponents simply can't handle his power. In interviews, he's quick to point out that a win is a win no matter how it's achieved. But the murmurs of dissent continue to grow louder. Then there's Mike Perry, Jake's most recent opponent, who's added even more fuel to the fire. After their fight, Perry also suggested Jake's sudden bursts of energy and power seemed a bit too enhanced. Perry's exact words were, "I faced a lot of fighters, but Jake's stamina and power just felt off." Fans and experts started connecting the dots, turning whispers into a full-blown scandal. Enter Mike Tyson, the legend who's not about to let these allegations slide. Tyson has proposed random steroid testing leading up to his fight with Jake. Announced on July 29, 2024, Tyson's plan includes stringent testing protocols to ensure a clean fight. These aren't your run-of-the-mill tests either. Tyson's calling for blood and urine samples to be taken at random intervals, right up until the fight night. This means Jake could be called in for a test anytime, anywhere. Miss a test, and it's treated as a failed test. The implications of these testing rules are huge. For Jake, it means constant scrutiny. He won't be able to hide anything, and if he's using any banned substances, they'll be detected. Regardless of where you stand on that debate, one thing is clear. These random tests add a whole new layer of drama to the upcoming fight. Tyson's no-nonsense approach to clean competition is putting immense pressure on Jake. Whether Jake's clean or not, the presence of these tests is a game-changer. It's a bold move by Tyson, turning an already highly anticipated fight into a must-watch event with even higher stakes.